What's going on, everyone? This is Luke from South Beach Sports, and in today's video we have multiple things to discuss. So I'm going to start off the video by talking about Tyler Herro, what his trade value is, and what his potential looks like for the rest of his career. And then I'm going to talk about the recent report that has listed Miami as a possible destination for Ben Simmons. I'm going to talk about this report and the chances of this trade actually happening. Like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on Tyler Herro. What do you think of him as a player? And also give your thoughts on a potential Ben Simmons to the Miami Heat trade. Now, the reason why I want to make a video about Tyler Herro is because I feel like the point of view of Herro is often very one-sided. He has a lot of stans and he has a lot of haters, and I feel like a neutral point of view of Tyler Herro is often lacking. And I also want to talk about Tyler Herro because his name has just been centered around so many possible trade packages for all-star players, and I just want to get into that. Because there's such a varying point of view when it comes to Tyler Herro, his trade value is extremely different depending on who you ask. You have the Tyler Herro superfans who consider him basically untouchable, which is not the case. And then you have the guys on NBA Twitter who just like to hate on Herro, like to hate on Kyle Kuzma, like to hate on Ben Simmons just for fun, and who consider Tyler Herro not that valuable, when in reality his actual trade value is somewhere in the middle. Like, for instance, unless the Heat are able to acquire just an egregious amount of first-round picks this offseason, which I don't think they'll be able to, I'm talking like 4 to 5 first-round picks, then the Heat probably can't center a trade around Tyler Herro for a guy like Damian Lillard or Bradley Beal. That's just what I think, and I'm very sure that's how the Heat and the rest of the NBA front offices are thinking as well. What you can do, though, is you probably could center a trade around Tyler Herro for a guy like Colin Sexton, maybe a guy like Brandon Ingram if you can acquire a couple first-round picks, a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, maybe Miles Turner. There are definitely quality players and even possibly all-star caliber players that you could center a trade around for Tyler Herro. So that is what I think Tyler Herro's actual trade value is. He is a pretty solid young asset. He's only 21. He's entering his 3rd season in the NBA, and he has playoff experience, which is very important. So I think when you look at his actual realistic trade value, it's pretty high. But then you have his super fans who, I mean, if you remember before this past season, wouldn't even have traded him for James Harden. You think I'm lying, but if any of you guys are on Twitter, you guys probably follow the Heat vs Haters account. There was a poll that said, would you trade Tyler Herro for James Harden? And it was split dead in the center, and that just had me dumbfounded. Like, how do some people value Tyler Herro over James Harden? Like, that's crazy. He did another poll that was, would you trade Tyler Herro for Bradley Beal? And I think it was like 70-30 in favor of Tyler Herro. So that just kind of shows the influence that these Tyler Herro superfans had last offseason and how his trade value just isn't that. And then you have people on the opposite end of the spectrum who just think completely differently. Like, I was talking to this guy who's a Rockets fan who said that he wouldn't trade Tyler Herro for a 2nd-round pick. Like, that's how little he valued Tyler Herro, which I thought was just absolutely insane. And I think the reason for these varying opinions on Tyler Herro has little to do with what he's done on the basketball floor and more to do with his celebrity status, because that's what he's become. Tyler Herro has become a celebrity. Like, if you guys remember in the NBA Finals, he had that mean mug face, whatever you want to call it, and it was put on t-shirts, it was put on hoodies, it was sold everywhere. He's dating an Instagram model. He is the name of a very popular rap song by Jack Harlow. So he has become an almost celebrity-like figure. And as you guys know with celebrities, some people are going to love him, some people are going to love them, and some people are going to hate them. It's kind of funny. Like, when you talk to a more casual NBA fan, I don't want to place the name casual on people, but that's just what they are. They would probably tell you that Tyler Herro took a major step back from year 1 to year 2, when in actuality he got a little better. His averages improved from about, I think, 13.5 points to 15.1 points per game from year 1 to year 2. He looked more comfortable with the ball in his hands. I think his defense improved slightly. His efficiency was around the same. But just because of media narratives and the lack of positive media feedback about Herro, the impression was pushed that Herro actually got worse from year 1 to year 2, when in actuality it wasn't the case. So I now want to touch on what Tyler Herro's career potential is, in my opinion. And I think the best case scenario for Herro, at least right now, is maybe like borderline all-star, 1 to 2 time all-star type player. I don't see Tyler Herro developing into an absolute superstar, and some of that has to do with his athletic limitations. He also has a 6'3" wingspan on his 6'5" frame, so defensively he obviously has, like I said, limitations. And a popular comparison to Tyler Herro so far in his short NBA career has been Devin Booker. They obviously both played at Kentucky. They had very similar rookie statistics. And they both play somewhat similar. They both like to shoot pull-ups. They're both good shooters, but I really don't see this comparison much. I mean, look at Tyler Herro. He is nowhere near as athletic as Devin Booker was at this stage of his career, and I think Devin Booker coming into the NBA was a much better driver to the basket. So I really don't see this comparison. One player that I would compare Tyler Herro to, and one player that I think he could develop into, is a prime Mike Miller. That may seem like an insult, but prime Mike Miller was a bucket. He was averaging 18 to 19 points a game consistently, and Mike Miller is one of the best shooters of the 21st century. So an honest projection of Tyler Herro, in my opinion, is a prime Mike Miller, which, like I said, is not an insult at all. So I want to finish today's video by talking about this Ben Simmons to the Miami Heat report by Sam Amick of The Athletic, who listed Miami as a possible Ben Simmons destination if he does get traded away from the 76ers. There was also this article by Hot Hoops of SB Nation that mentioned a Jimmy Butler for Ben Simmons swap, and rightfully so, they got absolutely torched for it. But just speaking my opinions on a possible Ben Simmons to the Heat trade, I don't like it at all, and I don't think it's really that realistic. I don't think that the Heat would form their team around 3 non-shooters in Simmons, Butler, and Adebayo. Defensively, that team would be a complete nightmare for opposing teams, but offensively, it would be a struggle, especially in the playoffs when you need shooters. There was also reports that, earlier, a long time ago, that Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler didn't have the greatest of connections. So I don't think Pat Riley and the Heat front office would really want to ruffle Jimmy Butler's feathers like that. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on the Ben Simmons to the Miami Heat trade, and your thoughts on Tyler Herro as a player and as a trade asset. Also, give me questions in the comments down below for my full-length Miami Heat free agency and trade season preview. I want to do a little Q&A session at the end, so just give me questions in the comments down below. With that being said, I will catch you later. Peace.